It's been 3 years since I've graduated from college, and in that time I've had a chance to reflect on my experiences. I wanted to share with you my biggest regrets from college. Regret number one, not being involved with more social clubs. A lot of the clubs I was involved with dealt heavily with my career aspirations. My thought process in school was that if it wasn't benefiting my career, then it was a waste of time. That was my first mistake. I viewed those activities as a waste of time instead of viewing them as a chance to grow and learn a little bit more about myself. I was involved with the student newspaper, the local radio station, and my college's ambassador program. The only real social club I was involved with was one that dealt with community service that allowed students in my college to volunteer for service sites in the local area where that college was at. I did meet some great people through these organizations that helped level up my professional life, but I never took the time to join clubs for hobbies that I was interested in. Looking back, college is the perfect time to join these clubs that share the same interests as you. Whether that's in sports, anime, photography, or anything else, I think there's great value in joining these fun clubs. Just like I'm a big advocate for reading fiction to help enhance your imagination and inspire you, I think there's great value in joining clubs because they can do the same thing just as reading fiction can. As we get older, we all start to naturally do this when we join adult soccer leagues or photography clubs or anything else like that to help us find like-minded people. As I mentioned before, at 19 and 20, I had a very closed-minded view of the world, and I thought that if I wasn't using every ounce of my time to advance my career or get closer to achieving my goals, then it was a waste of time. Obviously, this is a wrong way to view life, because if you don't enjoy life right now, then you're going to be wasting it, because you never know when life will be gone. So you have to use whatever time you have to enjoy the fruits of your labor. The great thing about joining organizations or clubs that have the same interests as you is that you have a high chance of meeting people that have the same values as you. So I challenge you to step outside your comfort zone and go for one of the clubs that interest you. Regret number two, not putting myself out there for social gatherings. This one ties into regret number one, but instead of dealing with clubs, this more so has to do with the social gathering aspect of college. Yeah, that more quote unquote typical college experience you see that's depicted in movies, where you see students just gathering around, hanging out with each other, talking for hours, and not having a care for the world. This was especially true during my freshman year, where I remember doing a lot of these activities alone. I only remember having a handful of moments where I had a FIFA night with friends, spent late up night talking with friends, or went to the movies with friends. A lot of those activities I did by myself, such as playing basketball, watching Netflix, or playing FIFA. And what I would recommend to you if you are in college right now is, instead of doing those activities alone, just try inviting people. So instead of playing FIFA alone, only play FIFA, let's say if you have friends over, so you can have a FIFA night. And same with Netflix, have a Netflix watch party for a show you're watching. Just doing those activities with people will allow you to have some more of those, I guess, quote unquote, typical college experiences. The main reason I didn't hang out with more friends or have more of those hangout nights during my freshman year was that I was just so focused on fulfilling my career goals during my freshman year. And one of my biggest goals during freshman year was to get around 6 to 8 hours of sleep every night. And to say that as a freshman is quite absurd, because typically the freshman sleep schedule is maybe you get 3 to 4 hours of sleep each night. So that basically when I wanted to value sleep, I had to cut myself off really early and stick to a really regimented, rigid schedule. If I had to go back, I would just tell myself to let loose a little bit and just enjoy the moment. Luckily, as I entered my junior and senior year, I started having those hangouts on a more frequent basis. I started to value hanging out with friends and started to prioritize that. And the funny thing is, as I gotten older, a lot of the moments that I do remember in college that I really hold dear to my heart are the moments where I was hanging out with friends, or just playing video games really late at night, or just having those really heart-to-heart conversations. It's not the time I spending a little extra hour on a piece of paper that I was writing, or studying an extra hour for a test that was coming up. It's those moments with people that I remember the most. So don't be afraid to put yourself out there in more social situations, because only good can come of it. Regret number three, not feeling like I was good enough. Too many times in college, I had this feeling in the back of my head that I wasn't good enough. It would transpire in social, professional, and classroom settings. It would start off like this: I'm not good enough to reach out to this person, I'm not good enough to write this feature story for my journalism class, and I'm not good enough to hang out with these people, and I don't feel worthy of having fun right now. It wasn't always like this, but I do remember feeling this feeling a majority of my college time. And the funny thing is, in a professional setting, there will never be a perfect time to reach out to someone or to write that story. The best you can do is just to go ahead and do it, and the worst that can happen is that you fail or you may get rejected. So if I could go back in time, I would tell my younger college self to just go ahead and go out for those experiences, because you are worthy and you do deserve a chance to have success. Hi, my name is Yash, and this channel is all about helping you live your best life. If you found this video helpful, please consider supporting the channel by subscribing. With love and respect, Yash.